Welcome everyone to Lee and Lowe's Fall 2023 and Spring 2024 seasonal showcase. My name is Jenny Choi. My pronouns are she, her. I'm an East Asian Native Hawaiian woman with tan skin and long straight black hair. I'm wearing a black dress with a brown floral design. And there's a beautiful shelf of Lee and Low books right behind me. I'm the marketing director at Lee & Low, the largest multicultural publisher in the country. As a family-owned and minority-owned business, we are dedicated to one mission: publishing books that affirm the identities of every reader and connecting all readers with our ever more diverse world. Hence our motto, about everyone, for everyone. We're thrilled to be joined today by beloved author Hannah Han. I'm sure many of y'all have Hannah's books on your shelves, like Under My Hijab, Golden Domes and Silver Lanterns, and Amina's Voice. Hannah will be in conversation with booklist Sarah Hunter, who you just heard from, following our book buzz. You'll get the scoop on her latest picture books, Zane Super Friday, and Behind My Doors. Find out more about Hannah and her books on her website, hannahhan.com, and on Instagram at hannahhanbooks. Speaking alongside me today are my excellent marketing and editorial colleagues, Jen, Candace, Shaughnessy, and Stephanie. They'll each introduce themselves as we move through our presentations, and I'm excited for you to meet them. Head over to Edelweiss to browse our most recent catalogs. There you'll also find digital review copies of many of the titles we'll be discussing today. Our website, leeandlow.com, is chock full of incredible resources like our robust teacher's guides. Our open book blog regularly features wonderful guest posts from our creators, as well as themed reading lists. And follow at Lee and Low on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter to keep up on all the latest bookish news. We hope y'all like us are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with stories from Latinx creators. According to the US Census, there are more than 40 million Spanish-speaking readers and language learners in the US. That's the fourth largest Spanish-speaking population in the world. We hope you'll add these libros en español to your collections for this flourishing demographic. We have a truly impressive list of Spanish language and bilingual titles. The books you see on screen are just a small sampling of what we have to offer. And in case you missed it, Cinco Puntos Press is now an imprint of Lee and Low. For 36 years, the El Paso-based publisher championed Chicano writers and focused on stories from the border. We're honored to be their new home and continue the legacy established by founders Lee Bird and the late Bobby Bird. And now I'll turn it over to our picture book editors to dive into our title presentation.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Frescas Macias. I'm the editorial assistant at Lee & Low, and my pronouns are she, hers. I'm a tan Mexican woman with long black hair. I'm wearing a semi-sheer white top, and I'm sitting in front of a white wall and a bookshelf with picture books. We're kicking off our list of new titles with Connor Kiss Me, an empowering and realistic picture book by debut author Sehava and illustrator Sarah K. Turner. Simple text, repetition, and lively expressive illustrations make this a perfect introduction to consent for emerging readers, unpacking a common scenario. First grader Miriam is surprised with a kiss by her classmate Connor, but after having some time and help processing her feelings, she gains the confidence to set firm boundaries. With fun background details that capture the chaos of a first grade class, we see Miriam sharing the incident with her best friend and adults around her. Different emotions cycle through her face each time: anger, hurt, confusion. Adult reactions to Miriam also vary, mirroring typical responses to quote-unquote playground kisses. But Miriam's mom responds with a question no one else asked. Did she want Connor to kiss her? With her mom's encouragement, Miriam is able to come back to school to confidently and joyfully express her bodily autonomy. Author Sehava says she was inspired to write Connor Kiss Me by the many Connors and Miriams she's seen at her current job as head librarian at a K-12 school in Montreal, Canada, saying, "Even when given an innocence, though, kissing is an invasion of personal space, and kids have to be taught that it is an exchange that requires permission." The bulletin of the Center for Children's Books called Connor Kiss Me invaluable for teaching about consent, saying, "It exudes vibrancy and movement, easily catching and maintaining attention. In succinct and instructive language, the book successfully conveys the message about the importance of using your voice. Connor Kiss Me was released just yesterday, September 19th, so you can pick up the book for yourself now. And changing gears, we have a deeply touching picture book originally published in Iran, titled Empty and Me, A Tale of Friendship and Loss, written by Azam Makhdavi, illustrated by Mariam Takhmusevi, and translated by Parisa Saranj. In sparse side-by-side Persian and English text, this picture book gently depicts a little girl rediscovering joy while living with Empty, a quiet creature that embodies her grief after the death of her mother. Empty accompanies the little girl everywhere, the bus, walking through her neighborhood, the dinner table, portraying how acutely we can feel in absence. Soft artwork first reflects the little girl's loneliness, with muted dark colors and a lot of open space between her and other people. Then, a plant that the little girl potted with her mom flowers. When the girl gives Empty a flower, the gentle giant becomes more than just a reminder of her mother's absence. It's also a reminder of the joy they shared. Empty stays with her, but the little girl starts letting others get closer, and more colors emerge in the artwork as she shares new moments of joy with them. With clear, succinct text and a sweetness to Empty's design, this book provides a comforting starting point to a discussion about loss, due to death or otherwise. Empty and Me has received some exciting accolades, is a Junior Library Guild selection, and School Library Journal praised the book in a starred review, recommending it as a strong purchase to introduce loss and not incidentally expose students to translated works. Empty and Me was created by a team of Iranian women, and it marks the U.S. debut for both author Azam Makhdavi as well as illustrator Mariam Takhmusevi, both of whom reside in Tehran. Translator Parisa Saranj is currently based in Baltimore. Empty and Me will be available soon, coming out on October 3rd.
Hi, everyone. My name is Candace Costin, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a brown-skinned woman with dark hair, and I'm wearing glasses and a blue sweater. The background behind me is a plain white wall with one piece of artwork. I'm an editor at Lee & Low Books, and I'm excited to share with you our next picture book, Miles of Style, written by Lisa D. Brathwaite and illustrated by Lynn Gaines. This fabulous biography introduces readers to Eunice W. Johnson, co-founder of the iconic Ebony magazine and Ebony's famous fashion fair. This picture book celebrates the life of a Black businesswoman and pioneer in the fashion world. Eunice grew up believing that beauty and dignity were things everyone should experience. She loved to sew and designed clothes for her dolls because she liked them to be well-dressed. Eunice had a flair for fashion, and there were no rules in her fashion world. As an adult, Eunice and her husband, John H. Johnson, noticed that newspapers and magazines often printed stories that showed Black people in a negative light. They decided to publish a magazine that featured positive news about Black Americans and their communities. They established Ebony magazine, and it quickly became the premier lifestyle publication for mid-century Black readers. In 1958, Eunice launched a project that would change the fashion industry forever, the Ebony Fashion Fair. In towns and cities across the United States, Black models walked the runway in the freshest trends, and Black attendees got to see people who looked like them in bright colors and high-end attire. To make the show happen every year, Eunice negotiated with snobby fashion houses in Europe and navigated racism back home in the US to acquire the most eye-catching styles for her show. Decades later, her name remains a watchword for glamour and elegance in the Black community. Miles of Style celebrates a visionary who used her influence to showcase the strength and beauty of Black community. Robust back matter includes photos and an author's note that celebrates the Ebony fashion with more info about Mrs. Johnson's many initiatives to educate and empower Black designers and creators. This fabulous book will strut onto bookshelves February 6th.
Jenny here to share about Flap Your Hands. According to recent estimates from the CDC, an average of 1 in every 36 8-year-old children has autism spectrum disorder. Few picture books speak directly to these kiddos and their caregivers, and even fewer are written and illustrated by people who are on the spectrum themselves. In Flap Your Hands, debut author Steve Aspel shares a glimpse of what overstimulation can feel like for young autistic people and the calming effects of stimming, a repetitive, self-stimulating behavior to channel our energy. With delightful text and vibrant kinetic illustrations, the book follows 4 neurodivergent young people as they navigate some stressful situations and use body movements to self-regulate their emotions. One child tickles the space next to their face. Another kicks their feet like splashy flippers. As the children say fun words, flap their hands, and engage in other stims, their actions build an energy and joyfulness until their inner calm is restored. In an author's note at the beginning of the book, Steve lets us know we all engage in stimming, tapping our feet, pacing back and forth while talking on the phone, or twirling our hair. It's just that stims for autistic folks may appear more overt or dramatic. Steve wrote Flap Your Hands in the hopes that autistic children can find pride and self-acceptance. He invites all of us to stim along and help normalize what already feels so normal for autistics like himself. Flap Your Hands is a wonderful celebration of stimming and a vital reminder that stimming is a natural and healthy thing to do. Make sure this one is on your shelves come March 2024.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Kawam. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the marketing assistant here at Lee & Low Books. I am a light-skinned Arab American woman with long, wavy brown hair. I am wearing glasses, a blue jean jacket, and a floral yellow jumpsuit. And I'm sitting in front of a wall of bookshelves filled with various Lee & Low picture books and novels. Next up, from the much-loved creators of Zombies Don't Eat Veggies, Jorge Lacera and Megan Lacera, comes The Wild Ones, and its simultaneously published Spanish edition, Los Bravos. With this graphic novel-style picture book comes a heartwarming and epic tale of 4 best friends who turn to the mythical monsters from their respective cultures to help them save the only home they've ever known. Meet Valentina and her best friends Jasmine, Andy, and Xander. They've lived in the Wild Oaks apartment building their entire lives. They are the Wild Ones. Legend has it there's a monstro lurking deep in the forest of their town. No one has ever seen it, but the Wild Ones believe it exists. But something's going on that's more menacing than any monstro. Greedy developers want to tear down their home. The Wild Ones know what they have to do, find the monstro and convince it to help them save their home. The Wild Ones brings a fun, diverse twist for young audiences to pop culture's fascination with monsters and folklore, and will appeal to the nostalgia of movies and TV shows set in the 1980s. Think of things like The Goonies and Stranger Things. The monsters come from various cultures, including Caribbean, South American, Irish, Gaelic, and Indian cultures. The Laceras said, "We thought it would be fun and cool to feature monsters from various cultures, especially if the monsters reflected the cultural roots of our characters. Instead of seeing these monsters as scary figures, we imagined them as protectors of human characters, protectors of their uniqueness, and ultimately, believers in the kids who believe in them." The Laceras also thought it important to reflect the fight against gentrification. In their own words, they said, "Believing in your full self and in your true friends can be extremely powerful forces." Join the Wild Ones on this epic adventure on April 9th, 2024.
Hi, my name is Shaughnessy Miller. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the marketing associate here at Lee & Low. I am a white woman with long brown curly hair. I'm wearing a green and white striped top, and I'm sitting in front of a bookshelf. The next title I'm going to share is Pedro's Yo-Yos, the backstory of one of America's favorite toys and a Lee & Low New Voices Award winner. In this picture book biography, we learn how an immigrant from the Philippines turned a childhood toy into a household must-have for children in the United States and all over the world. Growing up in the Philippines in the early 1900s, Pedro Flores and his friends would often play with a toy called the yo-yo, which means come back in Tagalog. The Philippines was governed by Spain. Then the US took over, and Filipino people struggled for a long time for their freedom. Pedro decided to leave home in search of work. After working in pineapple fields, on a steamship, and as a bellhop, he found an opportunity to go into business for himself, the yo-yo. With a couple of blocks of wood and a little string, Pedro created his first model yo-yo and practiced tricks to show it off. Soon, every child wanted one for themselves. This colorful and lively biography showcases one immigrant's ups and downs as an entrepreneur and his determination to create a toy that would capture the imagination of children and adults all over the world. Young readers will also learn about starting a business and how clever marketing and determination ensured this popular toy's success. Pedro's Yo-Yos also addresses the fraught history of the Philippines and introduces children to the United States history of colonialism. We see from Pedro's perspective and others who are colonized what it feels like and how they are affected. Pedro's Yo-Yos will be available in April 2024.
Hi everyone, it's Candace again, and I'm excited to talk about Watt Takes His Shot, the life and legacy of basketball hero Wataru Misaka, written by Cheryl Kim and illustrated by Nat Iwata. This high-energy biography celebrates Watt Misaka, the first non-white person to play in the NBA. As a kid growing up in Ogden, Utah, Watt raced to the park where his Japanese-American community came together to play basketball. He wasn't the tallest on the team, but he was fast and he loved the game. Encouraged by his father to always do his best, Watt applied this mindset to every aspect and challenge in his life. Watt was a college student during World War II. He overcame racism to claim his spot on Utah University's basketball team, but despite his impressive skills, he was treated as an outsider because he was Japanese American. Watt still brought his best to every game. His team player mentality made him shine on and off the court, and he became an inspiration to his Japanese American community. Watt was drafted by the New York Knicks in 1947, the same year that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Graphic novel-esque illustrations bring Watt's story to vibrant life, and a thoughtful author's note offers more information about Watt after his NBA career. Don't miss your shot at a copy of this book when it comes out June 19th.
It's Shaughnessy again. Next up, we have middle grade and young adult novels. Get ready for the next installment in the Shadow Prince series by David Anthony Durham. This action-packed series is perfect for high-low readers and fans of Rick Riordan Presents books. They are high-energy, diverse fantasies full of Egyptian mythology to boot. The series is also full of STEM connections and explores a genre called solar punk, featuring innovation, community, and technology powered by renewable energy. As in book 1, Set, the devious god of chaos, is back at his tricks. He has rid Egypt of the sun god Ra and plunged the kingdom into never-ending night. Especially disastrous since this reimagined Egyptian setting runs on solar power. But Ash, Prince Khufu, Sarah Gilly, and their new friends are determined to brave the Duat, or the Egyptian underworld, to fight demons, dodge peril, and rescue Lord Ra. The Shadow Prince, book 1 in the series, is a mashup of The Hunger Games and Aru Shah and the End of Time. There's an excellently narrated audiobook that will hook readers and leave them yearning for more adventures with Ash and his friends. David Anthony Durham is a popular fantasy author for adults and is bringing his talents to young people for the first time in this series. David says, "I want to take all sorts of kids on adventures, through dangers, forming friendships, learning and growing wiser and kinder in the process. This sort of writing is a bit more fun than my adult books, but it's no less important. In some ways, it's probably more important." His writing is fast-paced and exciting. The plot will keep you on your toes, and each book wraps up in the most satisfying way. As George R.R. Martin says, David Anthony Durham never disappoints. I can't wait to read whatever he writes next. The Longest Night in Egypt will be available next week. In 2008 Chicago, in the Southside community of Washington Park, Montgomery Monty Carver hoped for the best summer ever. Unfortunately, things aren't going as planned. Monty is struggling to prove to his parents that he's old enough to be on his own without adult supervision. A series of bad choices leads Monty to find a golden key in Old Lady Jenkins' sunflowers. As Monty uses his beloved scientific method to unravel the mystery of the key, he makes discoveries about the history of Washington Park and the broader Black community. Though he continually stumbles into trouble, you can't help but root for and fall in love with Montgomery. This book is bursting with Black boy joy and brimming with fascinating and little-known Black history. Young readers will learn about the hidden history of horse racing in Washington Park and the Black jockeys who raced. They'll also see how Black cowboy culture is alive and well. The book weaves in other elements of Chicago history in 2008, including Barack Obama's run for president and the city's bid to host the 2016 Olympic Games. Tracy Akami Crowder is a community organizer who has worked to address issues of racial equity across Illinois for the past 30 years, particularly in housing and education. In this work, she brought recess back to Chicago public schools. Tracy is the winner of the Lee and Low New Visions Award, and this is her debut middle grade novel. Montgomery and the Case of the Golden Key publishes on October 10th.
Jennifer here again. Kicked Out is a companion to A.M. Dasu's acclaimed middle grade novel Boy Everywhere, which received 3-star reviews, including one from Kirkus, calling it compelling, informative, hopeful. In the standalone story set in the same world, Az invites readers into the lives of friends Adam and Ali. Adam is a Syrian refugee and unaccompanied minor living in the UK, offering a window into the everyday lives and challenges of migrants in a new country, especially as a young person who is being treated as an adult, despite still being a child, and is unable to attend school due to financial concerns. Meanwhile, Adam's friend Ali is navigating an absent father who is suddenly turning up everywhere in town, along with a half-brother Ali didn't know about. Divorce within Muslim families is often unexplored in Kidlit, and here we see how this affects one young person in such a family. When speaking about the book, A.M. Dasu said, Kicked Out looks at what it's like to be an unaccompanied young person and empowers readers, showing how we can all step up to help. I hope through Ali, readers will see how resilient young people can be, and that how people treat you or whether they choose to be absent from your life is not a reflection of you and has no bearing on who you are and who you will become. With Kicked Out, Az adds to the steadily growing number of middle grade books starring young Muslim boys just living their everyday lives with family, friends, school, and more. Kicked Out releases on April 23rd, 2024, and be sure to visit the We Need Diverse Books blog where A.M. Dasu did a great Q&A about the book and what inspired her to write it.
It's Jenny again. In this companion to best-selling and highly acclaimed Yummy, Coretta Scott King honor-winning author Jean Neary returns with an epic journey across the south side of Chicago for 3 young people as they set out to find an armored truck that has lost a payload of cash. Like all of Greg's books, Safe Passage is inspired by a real-life Chicago, all of Greg's books are inspired by real-life things. Safe Passage is inspired by a real-life Chicago Public Schools program of the same name. It was established in 2009 to address the everyday reality of going to school in a time of mass proliferation of mini gangs in the city. Vetted grown-ups from within the community are posted on certain routes to provide kids a safe way to walk to school. Greg dedicates the book to the thousands of students in Chi-Town who participate in the program and the nearly 1,300 Safe Passage workers trying to keep them safe. In the book, 13-year-old Darius and his little sister Sissy cross 4 different gang territories every day to get to school. They know the protocol: walk in groups, stay in the middle of the road, keep your head on a swivel, and be prepared to run. They know that if they wander off the safe passage path, it's at their own peril. So when Darius's best friend, Booger, hears a rumor that a Brinks truck has crashed on the interstate, the boys, followed by Sissy, ditch school and set out to find a lost bundle of bills that could save Darius's family from eviction and change their lives forever. Darius, Sissy, and Booger soon discover that getting home in one piece isn't guaranteed when viral rumors start flying on social media that they're far from home and carrying a bag full of money. Safe Passage is an epic hero's tale of a journey from an award-winning creative team. Author Jean Neary has received many honors and awards across multiple disciplines and has a long history of working to elevate Black voices in the arts. Artist David Brame has received nominations from the Eisner Awards and Locus, as well as his work being in a GLAAD award-winning anthology. Safe Passage has already garnered amazing praise from the likes of John Jennings, Rolo III, and Tony Medina. Definitely add this one to the top of your to-be-read pile for March 2024.
Jennifer again. A Syrian contemporary young adult novel, When a Brown Girl Flees by Amna Qureshi, follows Zahra Paracha after she has made a decision that is at odds with her beliefs. Because of this, her mother forces Zahra to make an impossible choice about her future, so Zahra runs away. A train and a plane ride later, she finds herself in New York, where she relinquishes her past in favor of a new future. There, she must learn who she is without the marionette strings of control in her mother's hands. There, she must learn who she wishes to become. It is in this place of safety, where she is befriended by 2 sisters at the local masjid, that Zahra's healing truly begins. But these questions remain. Can she create a home for herself when the foundation is built on lies she's spun to protect her from the past? When a family friend recognizes her, will everything come crashing down? As Zahra tries to build a life for herself in this new place, the heart of the matter becomes clear. She can't run away forever. But can she close the rift in her family and truly fully heal? This novel expertly discusses what it means to be Muslim, explores the ways in which we find our place in the world, and takes a closer look at the experiences we have that eventually lead us to choosing hope. In her author's note, Amna Qureshi addresses the mental health themes in the book. She said, "This story is a love letter to oneself. It's the type of book I wish I could have read when I was growing up. And it's the type of book I hope brings healing and clarity to whoever reads it." Karuna Riazi, author of The Gauntlet and A Bit of Earth, enforced Amna's sentiment when she said, "Beautifully, bravely, and empathetically rendered, When a Brown Girl Flees is a vital addition to the growing Muslim young adult canon." When a Brown Girl Flees released yesterday on September 19th, so be sure to grab a copy for the teen in your life or for yourself now.